Hello, hello. It is noon on Tuesday, June 22nd. Can you guys believe it? We're literally almost halfway through the year of 2021 already. Hi and welcome. This is Amy from Seriously Sweet on Davis Street. This is a quick panel at the beginning to get you the information in case you need to refer back to it later on how you can sign up for text alerts for any of the live streams that I do for free during the week. So you text the word live stream to the phone number 540-870-0726. Welcome. I hope everyone is doing well today. How is everybody? So I am working on a longer countdown video for you guys to give you a little more time to get here and some fun pictures to take a look at. Sally is back at work. It's different, right? When we have to be in person at work versus the virtual work from home, right? Hey, what do you say, Jennifer? How are you today? Hi, guys. How is everyone? Let's see. I'm going to just put a few comments up while we let a few of you come and meet with us. I hope you guys are excited. Today is the first day of our Tiki HOT summer series, and I am incredibly excited because they are all custom designs. And by the time you get done, you will have an extensive set of Tiki HOT. Hello. So if you're seeing that and you know you're the one that made the comment that says finally made it live, hi, and it just says Facebook user, you just have to grant StreamYard permission to have your name so that they can see it when you go live. But if you leave me a comment and you're on Facebook, which that little icon showed you were on Facebook, I will see who you are after the live. Just can't see it right now. Hey, Barbie, how are you? Hi, Allison. Travel safe. Pouring down rain where I am. Pouring down rain. And it's so nice because the temperature has dropped like 20 degrees. So it's been boiling hot and now the temperature has dropped down. So we are having a fabulous time here. Everyone is greeting each other over in the chat area. Julie, watch it later because I'll be back on at 7 p.m. for the final assembly of this cookie, okay? So everything is over in the coffee shop for you. Jen, if you wouldn't mind, drop the link in to the coffee shop for everybody. You have two ways that you can get things today. There's an absolutely free download of the supply list if you'd like to go through that. Hey, Sandy, how are you? Hi, Tracy. Hey, Sheila, how are you doing? Let's see, what do we got in here? Oh, yeah, lots of rain. Hey, Karen. Pouring. I can't wait because I have a body of water behind my house. It's technically a run, but it's as large as a lot of the local rivers. And we have a family of geese that is nesting on the other side of the little riverbank. Hey, Sherry, catch this later. It's all right. I'll be on again at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight to finish up this set. So right now, what we will start out doing is going through what's on your supply list. We're going to talk about the Tiki HOT series, and we're going to start right in on the royal icing transfer templates so that if you'd like to prepare those, you can have those ready to go for when we assemble our first cookie in the series. So fun. And guess what, you guys? Let me say hello to just a couple more people. Let's see. When you come on, you should get a question that says allow StreamYard to show your name. There's like a little link and you give it permission to show your name. But if not, don't worry. I'll still see your questions over on the Facebook feed, okay? You can watch this stream several places. You can watch it from our Facebook store page, which is Seriously Sweet on Davis Street. You can watch it from our fun new group, Cookie Snack Attack with Seriously Sweet. If you haven't joined that yet, Jennifer is going to drop a link in for you to join that new Facebook group. It is a great place to share information. Big time enabler here. I have dropped lots of fun sale notices in there for you. And don't worry, if I dropped a sale notice, I'm in the same boat with you because it means I already bought something. Thank you to Miss Lorraine. I don't think she's here yet. Hey, Jennifer. Photograph the geese. Yeah, you can. They have 5 baby geeslings, and it looks like all of them have survived. So it's really fun to track them. So you definitely can come over sometime and photograph them. Hello, California. Where is everybody from today that's watching? That would be fun. Are you in the US? Are you in Canada? What country are you in if you're watching from another country? And if you're in the US, what state are you in today? So that is our main store page. You can watch from there. You can watch from the Cookie Snack Attack group. We are, I think it may be 444 people in our group. I'll be doing another giveaway as soon as we reach 500 members. All right, so let me tell you what's going on today, or rather for the next few weeks. So I designed this series of cutters, and guess what? How fun is this? Dots and Bows, Katrina and Carrie are making, they took on my designs, set them into cookie cutters, they're printing them, and they're selling them as a set. So if you are going to be participating in these Tuesday events, we will be doing this for the next several weeks. Also, if you are in the paid membership group with Frosting Creators of San Antonio, if you're on here, drop a link in for that. But if you are in their paid membership group, I'm doing a special advanced class for them with one of these cutters. It'll be advanced for them, but when I do it with you guys, we'll be doing beginner or intermediate level. And then that's in July. And then next week, if you are in the paid membership group with Nancy Westfall from the Colorful Cookie, if you are in the paid membership group, I will be doing one of the fantastic signs from this collection in their group next week. And we will be doing it advanced within that group. But when I teach that cutter with you guys so that you can also still use the cutter in case you're not in that group, we'll be doing just beginner and intermediate. So we packaged the whole thing together for you. When this feed is over, I'm going to drop you a link in to the Dots and Bows page, unless Carrie or Katrina happen to be on here. If you are on here, I was just trying to see, my husband does not normally text me when he's at work. Hey, and he's texting. So let me just make sure he's okay. All right, good. He's fine. Sorry. Life. Hey, babe, if you're, oh, and also you guys, you can watch from our YouTube channel if you want to do that. And babe, if you are watching on your lunch break, I miss you. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you are not out in the rain. All right. So back to this. This is the different designs. Isn't this cool? So they're all done same size on this to show you, but several of these are very large plaque cookies that we're teaching on an advanced level in different groups. As I mentioned, we'll bring it back to you guys and we'll do beginner intermediate level. So that way, every week you'll have another cutter coming into your collection on the Dots and Bows page. Jenna, if you can find that, that would be super great. But they packaged them together so you could buy either an STL download if you can print your own cutters, or you can, hold on one sec, you can get them as a set of cutters. So I did this in case you're going to participate the whole summer. Everything is housed with them for the cutters. I will give you some options for other cutters that you can use as we go along if you already have those cutters, some Ann Clark cutters and things like that. But if you want to go ahead and get this whole set, go ahead and order that set. And they gave us a discount. How cool is that? So for your discount code, you will get 10% off if you use the code SS class, CLASS 10. It's going to give you 10% off. Hey, Jeremy, how are you doing today? I'm glad you made it. Hi, Myra. Hey, I just saw that you popped in too. And I don't want to get anybody in trouble that's watching from work, but thank you. I'm so glad you're spending time with us. Okay, so the whole set is available from Dots and Bows. Jennifer has dropped a link in. I'm going to show it to you here, but it's going to be in the Facebook comments. There, you can buy the whole collection if you want to do everything. There's a chalkboard sign in here, which is going to be fabulous for you guys to use if you're having a luau or Hawaiian theme or tropical party. You'll be able to use that as either a birthday cake topper. You'll be able to make, turn it into a 3D piece. You're going to be able to use the chalkboard sign and the other sign that we're doing to use for place settings if you're having a party like Halloween, a Hawaiian or tropical themed party. You'll be able to use those really cool white chalk edible ink markers and actually do lettering on there and label everybody's names. If you have a wedding coming up that you're doing this theme, this whole collection is going to be great for you. So to start out with today, we are doing day 1, part 1, June 22nd. Your supply list over in the coffee shop, you're going to be able to get this 2 different ways. You can either just download this free supply list. Can you see everything that's on there? I'm trying to go slow so you can get in the camera. And also there's things on here. Look at your supply list before you purchase these items. This is just where I found the best collection of tropical leaves and then some little hibiscus things. You don't have to get this set. If you already have, hey, Kathy, how are you doing today? If you already have, and we got somebody from California with us, it's only 9:11 in the morning there. So thank you for being with us. If you have other tropical leaves, we're just going to be using these as accents to the cookies that we're creating, the designs. So you don't have to order each of these specific things. If you already have neon gels, so let's say maybe you have, let's see, let me show you. So I have listed for you the Chef Master brand because I have all of those neons, so I thought it would be easy. Is Fabiola here? Oh, how fun. Hey, Fabiola, thank you for joining us. I must not be able to see your name. You must be under Facebook user because I don't see you in my feed yet, but thank you for joining us. It's fun to see everybody arrive, especially Tuesdays are so much fun. I like to do all the tutorials. Oh, yes. Okay, I'm also going to tell you this. We're going to drop it in the group for you, but on the Ann Clark store that is on Amazon, on the sets only, they are having a 50% off deal for the Amazon Prime days, but it's on their store on Amazon. And check your emails if you are an Ann Clark subscriber, because there's a coupon code to get that 50% off. I will confess, I hope my husband is not watching right now, but I found out about that just about 10 minutes before we went live. So I jumped on there and ordered the few sets from her that I do not have. And it's just on sets. Hey, Harriet, how are you doing today? Okay, so you have all of these things on here. Full disclosure, I do get a small commission from Amazon when you use these links. You don't have to use these links. It's just a way for me to try to build up a little additional income to put towards the live streaming, better equipment, all of that sort of stuff. So if you already have this set, this is from Lila Loa Designs, but it's from Ann Clark. For today, because my cutters have not arrived yet, we're going to use this cutter tonight when we put these cookies together, okay? So if you have this set and you want to bake off a few of this cookie, we're going to be doing the hibiscus flower today as our starter cookie in the set. And I'm going to try to bring this to you in 3 different levels, okay? I am going to bring you some beginner level designs, some designs that if you have a store, you can do them really fast because you can prep royal icing transfers ahead of time. We're going to do an intermediate with a little bit of airbrushing, and then we're going to do an advanced cookie tonight using a 104 tip. So have a 104 tip for tonight if you're going to decorate along with me. I'll tell you the colors as we're talking through everything, and we're going to practice a technique that we did several months back when we were doing parchment and texturing. So if you have some parchment paper or cookie cupcake liners from, I don't know, it's probably been 2-3 months now since we did some of these, but we're going to go through what, oh, and sorry, I opened airbrush color. By the way, there's a really cool new video out from Cookie Countess showing how you're actually supposed to open your colors using the lid of the jar. How clever. Find that. It's in our Facebook group at Cookie Snack Attack. You can watch it in there, but they just released it yesterday. Such a cool video, and I promise it will save you tons of aggravation with trying to put that foam ring back in. So go watch that video sometime today too. But we're going to talk about these different cupcake liners, okay? Yes, Jen, of course. Look, so funny, but totally true. And yes, I did some shopping. Oh boy, I did. Truthfully, I was a little bit concerned because I didn't, there was only a few that I did not have. That concerns me greatly. I seem to be racking up the display of cookie cutters these days. All right. So yes, I'm wearing airbrush color because this happens to me weekly. All right. So let's go ahead and get moving. You can download the supply list by itself totally for free. If you want to buy me a tea or coffee or or cookie, whatever, make a donation there when you download the list. You certainly can. If you would like to get the royal icing transfer templates that are for today, please know that each set builds on the set before. So don't get too far behind before you purchase these, because I'm not going to have them overlap, because each time I put something up in the coffee shop for you, I want to make sure that you're getting something new, so you're not paying for the same download a second time. So we're going to do these cool fan leaves, and I left them in color because when we come back to this, I'll explain why, but I left this one in color because I want you to see that shading, right? You can make this a really simple design, or we can go really advanced, but boy, does it add bang for your buck to the cookies if you can do it ahead of time. So that's in your listing, okay? And it's sized properly for the cutters. If you order the cutters from Dots and Bows, you have the proper size. All your templates are already sized for you, so it'll be nice and easy. Okay, then what we have, let's go this way. Then you have this smaller hibiscus royal icing transfer, and we're going to pipe this in several different ways because I want to explain to you how to make this basic to advanced. So we have that. Then sized appropriately for this hibiscus flower. You see it's the same one. Okay, I've left it up here as a point of reference on the next transfer sheet. Then we've made this center, and of course we're going to do this with some nonpareils because I think you should always have candy on cookies. It's just fun, and it's a great quick way to make these ahead of time and add dimensions. So we're going to be using yellow nonpareils to make this stem. You know what, is it a stem? It's not the stem, it's whatever this piece, and it escapes me right at the moment. I did actually look the word up, but it's this centerpiece. It's not the stem. The stem is what holds the flower together, but it's this piece right here, and it's just flown right out of my mind. So you have two sizes on this template. You have the one that will fit this, because you'll need to make them separate and have them ready and dried before you pipe this, because you'll take the dried transfer from this and attach it to this flower in two of the ways that we're going to pipe it. Stamen. Thank you, Kathy. Yes, that's what we're going to make. And then this long one is sized appropriately for, look, y'all, I've done it again. Okay, hold on. So this is going to be the first cutter in your set. We're going to come back and do this one since I don't have mine yet. I'll do this as an extra freebie on a different night. For tonight, we're going to use the Lila Loa one. So if you have that one, you can use that. But this is sized for this cutter, which is actually a 3.5 inch, to do the stamen for this one with all the fancy ruffles, which will be our advanced hibiscus flower. So you'll see that later. So you can prep those all now, though, and have these ready to go. All right. And then what I did, you see how I've just brought on my transfer? So this will start us with just our basic hibiscus. Okay. We will be doing plumerias, but they're in a different week. Okay. Let's see. Yes, Myra, we will be using the dust. So if you have diamond dust, we're going to be using that. If you got the Bakel dust when they were on sale, we're going to be using those. So you are going to have so much fun. And we will be using it tonight when we put the large hibiscus flowers together, because we're going to make our hibiscus just really shine and be happy and be like we're actually in Hawaii, right? Let's just have a little trip tonight when we put this together. All right, so we've started with this for your basic. Then we've come over here so you can pipe your stamens, and you've got two different sizes. So you can use it for this for the transfer. And then this one will be for the large cookie, the advanced cookie, which we'll do at another time. As soon as I get my cutters, I'll pop on and do that. Okay, then we've used our same point of reference because I want you to see that everything is scaled to work together, okay? So we're going to be piping these leaves, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a thicker consistency so you can make the little notches. And then we're going to come back and do a little painting on these and a little bit of marker. In your listing today, I went ahead and put in the edible ink set that looks just like my Chef Master Black. Same pen, same lettering, everything, but this is the full color set. If you want to go ahead and get that, one end is a brush end, one end is the fine point end. So I'm going to show you how to use, excuse me, we're going to use those to add a little color and depth to our leaves. And we're going to show you how to use those where with a little bit of Everclear. So go ahead and have your Everclear handy tonight. With Everclear, you're going to be able to do a little bit of painting with either using your pen or using a gel color. So you're going to be able to work with the supplies you have. That's the other fabulous thing about the Tiki Hot set. I really thought about all the different activities and things that everybody has going on for summer vacation, travel plans now that we can, kids having different ball games, and all the money that goes out during the summertime for our families. So what we start with in the first week and what's on this list, it's going to run you right through till the last Tiki Hot. You won't be changing up supplies. So once you've taken a look at the cookie cutters and you've decided whether you want to participate, you're safe. You can get all your supplies together and we'll be using them every week. Everything's free. Please help me out with some donations as we go along or purchasing the templates, because this is going to be quite an extensive collection when we're done. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I enjoyed putting it together, because I thought after everybody having been in lockdown and all the different adjustments we've made over the last year, we needed something fun and happy for the summer. So little leaves. And then at the bottom, I did separate leaves, because when we do our two big signs, which can be for place settings, they can be done on paper straws so that you can put them upright to use in like a fruit display. If you're having a luau party or something, you're going to be able to do that. Maybe let's say you're having, like at my house, we would do Hicks luau on ours and then pick it into a pineapple in the middle of a fruit tray. So there's so many things you guys are going to be able to do with these. The plaque cutters are very large. All of those designs are 5.5 to 6 inches. So it's going to be really fun. So these are so that you can make actual dimension and pieces popping off the cookie. A lot of these cookies, you guys, if you want to be able to ship them and bag them, you're going to have to make adjustments, because I planned for them to be fully dimensional cookies for you for a lot of bang for the summertime. So then we swap over. I made 2 of these. I just printed out 2 because I wanted to do a bunch of these. These, obviously, we have to be super careful with these because they're going to be more easily broken, okay? All right, so then I printed 2 of this as well. And then this is a super large size hibiscus that will again work with this. So we can add leaves before we pipe our flower petals, okay? And then we'll still have this large area for the stamen right here. Okay, so let's get going. You know, for tonight, what you need to have, we want to do at least a couple of these transfers. And I'll probably keep you until about 12:50 today. So if you want to pop on and off, that's fine. If you want to come back and rewatch, that's fine. But I want to start with this one first. So what we've done on here, oh, and maybe I should show you this just in case you're new to us. In your supply listing, I have the Food Safe cello bags listed. This is a 6 1/4 by 6 1/4, and then I have a 6.5 by 6.5 listed for you. This is just a piece of heavy cardstock. I have that listed for you. Yes, that's on the supply list as well. That's what I use to keep this entire thing firm so that I can move it and pop it into the dehydrator. You can see it's not flexible at all. It's going to hold it. And that way I usually only have to print out 1 of my templates. So I can do what I'm going to do on here, then I can pull this template out and I can go right into another preset bag that has the backer card and the cello. Also, in case you're new to us, the reason I like the cello bags is these dry flatter, and I want them, is that a word, or more flat? I don't know. Anyway, you know what I mean. So they're smoother on the back. How's that? So I like that because a lot of times I do my royal icing transfers ahead of time so that I can drop them directly onto a wet cookie. In this case, that is not what we're doing. We're actually going to have these like come in at our cookie at an angle so that we have like actual 3-dimensional flowers being built on these fancy signs. That way, if you want to use it for a cake topper or a luau party or something of that nature, you're going to be able to do that, okay? And yes, the reason I like this, they dry flat, is because I found even with my parchment that has a coating and the wax paper, those crinkle. Even page protectors crinkle. The other reason, you guys, you know, I'm a little klutzy. It is just what it is. I've come to find ways to deal with it. I really like this setup. I had a lot of extra things that I had around, like cardstock and things from when I used to make homemade cards. So I like this setup because it's small, the 6x6 setup versus using the 8.5x11. You can take your 8.5 and 11 if you own them and just cut them down if you like this system. But this way I can just keep rotating this and I don't tend to get my hand, my arm, or my arm in it. Okay. So let's pop right back on here and let's jump into these fan leaves, because aren't these the coolest? So this is just going to visually give you an idea if you want to do the painting part that you can. And I brought several things home from the shop to the cookie studio today for you to take a look at. This is actually a paper baking cup for a specialty dessert, but do you see how it's shiny? So it has that coating inside. It's like a non-stick. So after you've baked your item, you could do souffles in these. You can do little pastries. You can do quiche wrapped in pastry, but because it pops right out, it's really easy. But I thought we would try this one today. So we're going to trim this down and try it. But what's on your supply list today is these great little cupcake wrappers that have a glassine lining to them. You see how it's shiny? Now, this one is what I use for my monster cupcakes. I think you can see it. And it has a little coating, but it's not as heavy a coating as these two pieces. You can really see the sheen on these in the light, right? And then this is just a mini metallic. We use a lot of silver and gold in the store, but I did find when I tested with this one, this has a really nice small pleat, okay? And then, of course, you can make your own using parchment paper, but I thought this might be easier for some people to start with. So what we're going to do, and look at the size for this. This is pretty perfect for what we're going to make as our little fan. So we're just going to pop that out and we're going to cut right across the center. And then we're going to make a little slice right here in the middle. We don't want to take all of that out because we kind of need to have something to hold on to, but going across the middle like that. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to come back and refold these pleats. All right, let me get right in here. And it's so tiny to work with. Now, I did hand fold a bunch of parchment a few months back when I did this technique. It just took a really long time, and I didn't get, it was a larger cookie that I was working on. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull that out of here because the paper ones, it's going to go a little easier, but the metallic, you know, once they get bent, they're bent. So let's just go a little bit at a time here, right? And you'll just rework the pleats. So that's, can you see what I'm doing there on camera? I'm trying to keep it on there. So you'll rework it so you have the nice pleats, and this will fold out. You hold it down here, it'll fold out so you'll have the nice grooves. All right, but we're going to go to the one that I put on your supply list, and we're going to start with that one. And again, we're just going to cut it in the center, and we're going to take this part out. Okay, and then let's pull this back together. Just doing that little accordion pleat. And you don't even actually need the whole liner. So once you're folding, as you see that you have enough, you know, you can stop and cut it where you want to cut it. And the reason I'm using the cupcake liner is also because these little fan leaves, I don't think anybody has any. Jen, will you drop the link in directly to today's coffee shop purchase? Miss Kathy is asking where the purchase is for today. Yeah, so let's do, I would say let's do this much of this one. I think we'll be in good shape if we do that. So what we're going to do is use a thick consistency icing. Because my edible ink marker is a darker green, and I'm going to be using that marker to do a little bit of line drawing and then also to do a little bit of blending of color. I'm trying to stay right there on camera so you guys can see it. Because that's darker, I'm going with my neon green from Chef Master for my base color. And I've made a thick consistency icing. So basically what I've done is I have made a paste, not a gel. I have made a paste consistency toothpaste, right? You know, some have gels, so they have more liquid in them. Some are just paste toothpaste. And when you're in an actual paste situation, your toothpaste has lost all its shine. It's very flat and matte looking. So you see what we've just created there? So now we have that nice little fan to make our indentions. So not only are we going to make this cool shape, but we're going to use this to make the texture on our little fan leaf. Then we're going to come back and we're going to add some additional color by using the marker or food gel. If you have food gel, you can use that too, no problem. So I made a toothpaste consistency, which is about a 30-second, but you can see, I don't know if you can tell through the bag. I can tell here in person, but even in the bag, this is flood outline consistency, about 18-second, and it has a little sheen even through the bag. This one is just totally matte, almost like it would be considered a flat paint. If you paint it all, you know, flat is different than eggshell, different than satin, different than gloss. So let's take the top off here. And I don't want to hold us up doing just this one transfer. So we're going to do just one of these, and then I'll do more to have ready to peel off for tonight. So my recommendation on this, because this is going to push out, let me see if I'm on camera here. There we go. I am just going around. I'm not doing anything particular, because what's going to happen is you're going to get natural points from using this push out in the cupcake. But let me show you this, because this is important. You have to have enough volume of icing right there. Can you see it's raised up? You cannot be skimpy on this part. You need a large volume of icing to push this little liner down into, so that you'll get those nice grooves. Now, I tried this with icing that had more moisture in it, not a flood consistency, but just more moisture in it, and it just takes so long to dry. It was really it was a little frustrating for me. So what we're going to do here, right, we've got this set up. You can see our little pleats. You can go from either side, but I'm going to go from this side because it looks like I have better pleats. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep that together on the end, and we're just going to use our scribe tool. I'm just using a Boo Boo stick by Jeannie, and I'm just going to tap it in here to make sure, and I'm starting in the middle and working to the two outside edges, because that little bit of tapping, I want to make sure the icing is going all the way up into that point. Now, what I was starting to tell you is a few months back, I tried this with the pleat part down, icing in a little wetter so it would fill the gaps, but it really got the paper too wet and it took way too long to dry. So this is my preferred method, but if you've done this before and you know how to do it and you have another method that works better for your area, please do that. You're not ever locked into doing it exactly the way I do it. I just do what works best for me and the area I'm in and with the humidity I am, okay? Okay, so Jennifer, I see the comment. There's several for the series. Yes. So that was the other thing I meant to tell you. If you only want to do one download and you're purchasing the Royal Icing Transfer templates, then your supply list is also in there. You don't have to download the free supply list plus the other. I'm putting your supply list for free as one posting, and then supply list with the things that are available, whatever we're using that week, as a separate listing. And if anybody feels so inclined, you are able, I set it all. I had a request to set it where you could donate more so that you didn't have to do the purchase for a set price and then go back to do a buy me Amy a tea if you wanted to give more money. So I set it to where you guys can decide what you're paying. There's a minimum threshold, and then you decide what you want to do beyond that. That I thought would cut down on the messages. So can you see what I'm doing here? I made sure I had plenty of icing. It was nice and thick. And now what I'm doing, and you'll get better as you go along with this with not putting extra on there, but I want my fan to be very much like the fan leaf. And I want the icing to come all the way to the edge. So what I found as I was practicing this was that I needed to have more icing than the size of my fan. All right. But it's not that much. So no big deal. If I was making kitchen sink icing, I'd have a bowl off to the side and I'd just be putting my extra in there. But you do need to do this while it's wet. So because you will have terrible luck trying to break off any extra areas if you wait until this is dry. It'll crack right down through your fan, because we've made this transfer weaker in these super pointy parts, right? Where this is down, and it's not all the way down, you guys, where it's touching the cello. I can still see there's color under there, but it is going to be thinner there. So you're going to want to be a little more careful. And just watch this little trick right here. If you just use this, start from the center, work out to the left, start from the center, work out to the right. What that's going to do is allow you to pull some back into it in this direction if you need to. If there's not enough icing there, you're going to be able to kind of scoop it into that pleat as you're pushing down. But we're going to set this to the side. This is going to be so fun, especially once we get to color these, and I'll make more of them so you'll be able to see that fully tonight. But that is something you can do before tonight if you want to get that ready. All right. And so that you can also go back and test these things. I'm going to do a few of these just to show you the difference in the size of the pleats, and then you can decide what to use. But the one I liked the best was the one I linked in your supply list, and that is like a regular cupcake liner. This is a regular size that most stores sell, and you see the difference. So I sell monster cupcakes. So you can see my cupcakes are 2.5 times the size of normal cupcakes. And this is what you'd find more like in the grocery store, Walmart, or Target. So let's set that off to the side. And let me move these little scraps of paper so they don't wind up in a transfer. And how about we jump right into, let's see, let's jump into some leaves, or let's do the stamens first. Is that okay? Let's see, it's 12:35. So what I have ready for right now, we're going to use the yellow nonpareils. Okay. Let me keep that up here. Yes, and I just saw a question. I am using the neon green by Chef Master, but you can use any neon green that you have. The reason I did the neon green is because it is a lighter green, and we know we're going to be doing some accents tonight with a darker food gel. We're going to be doing airbrushing. You can use a glowing green or something brighter that'll add a little dimension to it, or you can use a green edible ink food marker and then dilute that and paint directly on the transfer. Hey, you guys, with your Everclear, you can thin it with Everclear. So we're going to pull this into frame real quick, and we're going to do these because they're so much fun. So again, I will do more for you tonight. Right now, we're going to do the one set, and we're going to do this size. I'll do a few of these in case we can use it tonight, the larger, but let's stay focused on the little ones for now. So typically what I do with these, let me just show you this too. These are self-sealing bags. So when I'm doing something like this, because nonpareils bounce, I mean, they go everywhere, and it's just not fun to try to get them up later. So I tried to pipe, let me see if I can do it without, let me put something under here for you, because if I keep it just right, you don't have the glare. But I like to do it where they're facing downward. I'll show you why right now. But again, I have this really thick, like 30-second toothpaste consistency. And this is the neon yellow. It's nice and bright. Oh, and by the way, if you were with me on my last live stream and we couldn't figure out why that color was so messed up last time, I think it is where I placed my new lights. And so I've readjusted that today, and the colors seem to be more true to what they really are on camera today. So I'll make sure I keep it located like that for you. Now, you guys know I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, work the opposite direction, or maybe flip this out and do, it's very dark ink, so when you flip it over, you can see through the paper. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to start here. I'm making these very thick. Texture is great because a flower would actually have texture like that. It's not perfectly smooth. And then, so I'm doing the stem part of the stamen, and then I'm just putting some rounded, and you see it's holding its shape. So I'm just piping some circles that if I were going to leave it, I could leave it just like this, and you would know what it's supposed to be. But we're going to, of course, go a little bit extra because extra is a lot of fun. So we're going to take this, and I have baby spoon. These are just baby spoons from Walmart. I love them. They're tiny. Okay. And we're going to just do this part here where we piped all the dots. And yes, you do still need the dots to give it the lift that you want it to have. If you go a little too far down on the stem, then just use your boo-boo stick, your scribe, and pop those in. And what you'll want to do with this is just play with this for a second, because you can do these way ahead of time. Maybe what you'll want to do is pop a few a little lower, leave a few a little higher, and that way you'll get even a little bit more dimension. So I'll show you one more, but let me lift that for you. Right? But did you see I didn't lose any of these guys? They're all in the container here. How fabulous is that? If you're super concerned about the stem part of your stamen breaking off, then just do it thicker. Just keep your length. Your length is what you're going to need to worry about on this, okay? And thank you, guys. I just want to say thank you again for joining me again. I'm so happy with the feedback I got on two-part tutorial Tuesday. and what you have expressed so far about the Tiki Hot Summer Series. I'm super excited about that. And just to let you know, because we work so far in advance, I'm already working on a Christmas series. So we're going to make sure that you like how this setup is and the pieces that you're getting and that it all works together. And then my plan is to put together a Christmas set for you and a Halloween set too. So again, there you go. Those are going to be great. Now I'm going to do one really thin because I just want you to see later tonight when we come back that they will dry if your icing is properly set. So we're going to do a thin one, something a little more dainty. Just spread these out a little bit more, making sure everything's touching and a few on top. It'll make it a little bit smaller. Again, I'm just doing the bottom part. And turn this over, give it a quick tap. You can see how those look. All right, so we've done some really large ones. We've done some thinner ones. You can play with this. If you don't want to put that much on there, you can play with it and streamline that a little bit, see? So lots you can do to manipulate these with this thicker icing, okay? So let's set that to the side. So far we've done our accordion paper and our fan leaf. We're making these fan leaves to go on a cookie. And then we've also started on the center for our hibiscus. Isn't that so cute? All right, now let's jump over. Let's see. I'm going to use this is a bead return tray purchased from Michael's. I do not have this on your supply list, but it's been on all the previous ones. So I will drop this in a link for you afterwards. This is so handy, you guys. I don't like to waste anything. So it's good for me because I'm already running 2 sets, right? I'm using the things that I use on camera with you guys that I don't wear gloves for. Then I have a whole nother set of sprinkles back at the store that we only use when we have gloves on because they're used on things that you're purchasing. So, you know, I've already got 2 rounds of everything going. So we don't want to waste anything in our prop kitchen here. All right, so what we're going to come back to is to first, I'm going to show you how to pipe just one of these because I need those stamens to dry so I can do the stamen on this for later. But I want to show you this, and we'll be using this same tip tonight. And again, look, I'm working in this little 3-foot area, everything staged, and somehow I was going to say I had lost my bag with the 104 tip. So have a 104 tip. Do you see that this is the teardrop shaped tip? Now, something I like to do, I have 2 different sets of these. Well, actually, I don't even want to tell you how many 104s I have because I misplace them all the time. So I have way more than what you need. But let's just say you have a set that you like to use for cupcakes or a set you like to do large petals with, and then a set you want to do little detail work. When I get these in, I typically take a pair of pliers and I pinch this in just a little bit more closed. Just the tiniest bit because it helps so much on what we're about to do. And the reason we're going to use the 104 is because we're going to use the 104 to do these tiny pieces. Plus we're going to be able to use it on the fancy hibiscus cookie that we're going to do. So I am going to quickly grab my hot pink, and look, it looks pink. So exciting that the lights are good. This is hot pink. This is neon pink. You can do this as bright as you want. And you guys know about my double bagging trick here. So I have a bag so that I don't have to do the couplers and all of that. I have my tip in this separate bag. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at this and I'm going to cut this where this will drop into this tip so that this bag doesn't get messy and I can switch it out and do multiple colors by just removing this and inserting a different color. And we will do that. We're going to do some pink and some yellow, but I'll show you that tonight. But I'm looking at this next to it so I can get a gauge on where to cut it because I don't want it to cut it down here because that's going to drop in and affect how it comes out the tip. So I'm looking for enough of a cut to get this bag seated into this bag, but not affecting the outflow on the tip. Okay, that makes sense? No, I don't, Jen. As long as you cut this properly, I don't have any problems with it backing up into the first bag. But let's take a look at that again so you understand what I was explaining there. So I already have my tip bagged, and then I hold my other bag up to it. And do you see where that is? So that's going to fit perfectly down into here. And that way I can just quickly pull this in and out. So I just make sure that goes into the bag. And then we're going to do a little bit of squeezing. Can you see it? So it's not in the outer bag. It's all in the inside bag, and it's all into the tip. So you can see that. Now, I have not manually adjusted this tip, but that is my recommendation for things that you're doing. All right, and we're going to go with the teardrop, the skinny end of the teardrop is going to be towards me, thicker end out, and just try to stay along with where your transfer template shows you to keep this, okay? So let me get this where the bag is twisted down in my hand so it's not so obtrusive on what you're seeing. And so I'm starting right at the center. I'm letting it attach. I'm not touching the template, and I'm just going to work this back and forth so that that's one petal. You see that okay? Then we're going to come back in here. And the reason I like the 104 is because it's already wide, so I don't have a lot of work to do as I'm making these. So I'm going to try to get 3 bumps in each of my petals, coming back to the center to let them join up. I'm a little low there. Let's pull this up. Okay, can you see what that is? So you see, I'm not perfectly staying on. I'm using this as my guide. You pretty much want all of your flowers to look slightly different because they're flowers. So in this case, that works out for us. If you want to go a little further, you go a little further. I'm sure somebody probably just missed what I said. So I have the thicker end away from me. The thin end of the teardrop is towards me. And then I'm just working here to finish this. And I'm doing 3 bumps on each petal so that it comes out looking more like a traditional hibiscus. If you don't feel comfortable with that, I'll show you how to do it. Just one large swipe on each one of these, okay? You can still get a really nice looking flower. But if you want to get the really detailed, take that little bit of extra time. There you go. Now, if these were dry, we would be pulling one of these off and we would be locating it right here in the center and running to the outer edge, and we would just anchor it down in the pink, okay? You could actually put it in between 2 petals, or you can fully secure it if you're worried about it breaking right across one of these larger, thicker petals, okay? Now, let me show you something just a little faster, keeping the tip clear. Also, you guys, be super careful. A lot of people can do this and they do not hurt their tips, but I use mine for cupcakes, cakes, all kinds of detail work, especially on cookies. It shows up in photography if you get these tips scratched up. So if you're using this and you set it aside, the easiest thing to do is just to wet a paper towel and immediately put it into a wet paper towel and just set it to the side as you work on your next element. But if you forget to do that and this part dries, just hold this over a bowl or a paper towel and hit it with a spray bottle of water, just a little distilled bottle of water. It'll loosen up what's on the end enough that you can press it out, wipe the tip off and start again. That way you don't have to put anything sharp up into the tip. Now, I only mention this because being in an actual shop where we sell lots of cookies and lots of cakes and lots of cupcakes, speed is always an issue. So you have to train yourself if you're doing those sort of things, not to take a quick fix like a scribe or something up into there, because then you're going to damage these tips. And if you happen to have to do that, like on a number 1 PME tip or a 1.5 PME tip, those are $5 or $6 a piece. So you really don't want to damage something like that. Hey, Rebecca. Hi, Cheryl. I'm so glad. Yeah, so normally you can just squeeze it. A little bit will come out. You can break it right off. But if you can't get it to move, that's just a little tip for you to loosen it up using just regular water, okay? Now, let me show you what this would look like if you want to just do big single petals. Okay, up and down, over top of where we just ended up. Let's do another one and come up and down. You see that? So you're still getting this nice look, but the reason you're getting this nice look is because the icing is perfect. So it's automatically making ripples in your petal. But it is actually a different edged petal. Depends on how much of a purist about this you want to be. It will visually read to someone on a cookie like it's a hibiscus flower, but it just, it will just, it will not have as much detail as this one where we did the actual edging on the leaves, right? Now, I like to build good, strong transfers. So you can tell that I've come back each place in here and made it all attached. If you are not prepared to put the stamen in at this time, then just make sure that you are using your scribe to knock this down enough that when you go to add the stamen, you're not putting undue pressure on it So you can see what's happening, right? With the little bit of manipulation and jiggle there, it's bringing that around together, okay? So a couple of ways that you can do these, but you can work on these before tonight too. Let me set those to the side. I'll have a bunch of those ready so that you can see it. And let's just quickly do a small leaf for you. And then I will see you again tonight at 7. I'll send you the text alerts if you want to sign up for the text alerting. And we'll be putting together this cookie. We're going to use an Ann Clark cutter for tonight since my fancy cutter's not in. So another night I'll come on one if you get the whole cutter set, and I'll show you how to use that cutter. So let's just do this really quickly. This is about an 18-second icing. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm just making a little bit of a jiggle with my hand because I want that nice outer edge, but I don't want to have to wait for this to crust up to do any kind of sculpting, right? So I'm just going to come back. I like texture on my leaves. We know we're going to be painting these, right? So let's lift that. Let me show you what I mean by that. So you see the motion is making the texture on the leaf for me. And then I'm just going to be careful not to jiggle or wiggle this too much as I continue making these, because I don't want it to sink into itself and heal. So you see, by doing it the way that I just piped it, I already have something that looks like a center line without doing anything to it. Okay, and then we've got a nice edge. If you want, you can do outline and flood and get smooth leaves, and then you can use your green edible ink marker to just make your lines. But what we're going to do tonight is add some color to this. And also, you guys, if you want to get really happy with this, you can add some diamond dust. Let's add a little diamond dust here. All right, so we can have little sparkly leaves before we do that painting. That's going to get, so look what that does. Isn't that amazing? That was the coolest thing ever invented. And let's come back to our hibiscus and let's use our pink. Let's use our pink spray here for this. Whoops, hold on. I definitely want to use these for you tonight. And there's a little bit of green in there. Okay, so let's hit this. Isn't that pretty? Look how great these little elements of sparkle. You need to add it when it's wet. All right, so you can see just that little bit of what that did. So we worked in our food glitter too, and we have candy, and you have your template, so you'll be ready to go for tonight. So you can get to work on your template. So you've seen the thicknesses we need, the colors, and then tonight I'm going to show you something really cool that you can do with these. All right, so my recommendation to you for tonight is to have a paper towel holder, an empty paper towel roll, the center part, the cardboard part, or maybe your small fondant roller. If you have one of these, have this handy, and a little bit of parchment paper. I'm going to show you how to do these to where they can set up after you've made them on here. We're going to pull everything out that's supporting this, and we're going to put this over our fondant roller to give us dimension on these leaves so that when we add them to the big fancy cookie, when we add them to this actual cookie, we're going to have leaves that are curved and come up and down. Plus, we're going to have done the painting. So it's going to be absolutely fabulous. So I will see you guys tonight at 7, unless anybody, does anybody have any questions? I don't think I've missed anything. If you have any questions, I'm going to be working in the cookie studio all day today. So please just comment on the Facebook page or in the group. Make sure you go join our new group, Cookie Snack Attack. As soon as we get to 500 members, I'll be giving away another free virtual class. So that's coming up for you. And please go ahead and join us and go ahead and get your full set of cutters from Dots and Bows so they can get them out right away. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 in there. And then there are a few other things from Ann Clark that I'm just going to be throwing in here as supplements as we go along, because they're pieces I want to add to this. But there's no point in reinventing the cutter on that because you guys probably already have those cutters. Can you use diamond dust on dry icing? You can brush it on. And if you bought the little containers that have like the openings, you can dump it on like a salt or pepper shaker too. So you can do that as well. Okay. All right. Well, let's keep this one to under an hour. Wow, that's a miracle in and of itself. Thank you for joining me. I was prepared for 12. Oh, okay. So Debbie, this is Cookie Snack Attack, and it's with just me. There are other tutorials with different teachers at 1 o'clock. There's lots of tutorials going on today. And in fact, there's actually a cookie challenge going on that you guys might want to jump in on. Oh, sorry, Maddie. Sorry. You guys, you know how we all love the candy corn cutter? There's a free cookie challenge going on with Summer Sweet Shop. You guys might want to jump in on that. That's today and tomorrow. This one's totally free. Then there's another cookie challenge going on for Summer Fruit with April from Sweet and Saucy Life. You can jump in on that one. I think that's, I feel like that one is this week maybe, or maybe it started yesterday. I got to check my dates, but it's very nominal fee to participate in that one. There's so much stuff going on, and that fruit one is the same colors as what we're using in our series. So if you want to add fruit cookies next to your fruit platters, that would be a great one to jump in on. So I'm going to go and get to work on these transfers so that we have everything ready for you tonight. It was so much fun seeing everybody. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you jump in the group for Cookie Snack Attack. You can also follow us on our YouTube channel or on Instagram, and also on our store Facebook page, Seriously Sweet on Davis Street. Thank you guys. I'm going to pop this up really quickly. If you are not getting your alerts, please go ahead and do this. You can opt out at any time. If you text the word live stream to the phone number 540-870-0726, then it asks you for a little bit of information about yourself. As soon as you've put that in, it adds you to the membership listing. It's a texting service that I pay for so that I can make sure you guys all know when we're going live, okay? Thanks so much, and I will see you tonight at 7 Eastern Standard Time. Cookie Snack Attack or Seriously Sweet on Davis Street. Bye, guys. Have a great day.